Welcome to the Theater of Others podcast. My name is Adam Marple, and I'm the co-artistic director of the Theater of Others. With the COVID-19 pandemic forcing a shutdown and reevaluation of space and gathering, we at the Theater of Others are thinking about what stories we need and how best we can share them. We believe space is psychology, and it informs the way in which an audience interacts and reacts to what is presented to them. We create uniquely theatrical events in bespoke sensory performance spaces crafted to encourage curiosity and grant the audience permission to commune with the play. Now that that space has moved online, how can we encourage interaction and action amongst an audience virtually? The Theater of Others produces plays that both welcome and challenge the audience. We are committed to international collaboration and are a laboratory that helps artists grow through intensive study of their craft. The Theater of Others creates a shared community of artists and audiences for the purpose of exploring the most profound issues of our lives and times. We believe the play watches the audience. The audience is necessary, and they are witness to what happens. And you get to be witness to us making that happen. The purpose of this podcast is to open up our process and let you in. We're peeling back the curtain, so to speak, and encouraging you to follow along, to ponder, prod, and question, to join us and criticize us if need be. Being a witness is no passive task, and it requires much from you. Are you up for the journey? On the podcast today from Melbourne, Australia, are co-artistic directors Budi Miller and myself in Cairo, Egypt. This podcast contains explicit language.
Hi, Adam.
Hi, Budi.
What are you doing?
I'm not doing anything. What is going on with my video?
What are you doing? What are you doing with your camera?
I didn't do it. I swear.
Yeah, right. What is that?
What is what?
That camera thing you're doing. I want to do that.
It's my camera. It's what my camera does.
Wait, show
Remember
me
when I
again.
used to do that thing where I would make it, focus on me?
Yeah. Do it again. Let me see.
See what?
The camera work. The camera work.
Here we go.
I want this. I want the close up.
Back.
No, I want the close up. The close up. The close up.
Oh Lord.
Give me the close up. Closer. 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 Now everyone's gonna have to go to YouTube. If they're only listening to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, they have got to go to YouTube to see.
You're just not getting the whole experience. Exactly.
You're not.
It's gonna
if you're not watching us on YouTube, you're not getting the whole story.
Yeah, certainly.
Hi, Adam Marple.
Hi, Budi Miller.
What are you doing?
I'm living and existing. What are you doing?
I'm going out to lunch today.
Yeah, I was fixing to say, for those of you who aren't on YouTube, you're not getting the full experience of this either. He does not dress up for me.
No, I don't.
But all of a sudden, you are decked out today for something.
Well, I'm wearing this sweater that Akshay calls it the COVID virus sweater because it looks like the COVID virus. So if I show you that.
Okay.
And I'm also wearing my leather pants. Oh. And I can fit in them, Adam. Look at that. It's amazing. It's amazing. I lost 25 kgs and I can fit into the leather, honey. Woo!
Congratulations.
Okay, so this is the thing. When like I'm the only one. When I was dealing with COVID,
when you were in lockdown, with the rest of us could continue our life. Yeah.
When I was in lockdown, and I was surviving COVID, and I was surviving the world apocalypse, I lost it with my shopping. It was like it was pretty bad. Actually, it was like, you need to get a hold of yourself. You need to get a grip. And I have a purchase that I'm currently wearing that it has been hidden underneath the socks in the drawer in the back in the thing because when I bought them, I thought that I was like, the size that I was pre-COVID.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I was in the middle of COVID, and I had a little bit more. So when I tried to put these Moschino leathers on, I can only get it above my knee. I can only get these pants above my knee. It was
It's okay.
bad. It was
It's okay. We all had chubby knees in the pandemic.
girl. It was the struggle was real. And so then I was like, okay, well, because look at the front of these pants. The pants are beautiful. They got they have like zippers and things on them. See the zipper? Look at that. Oh, they're so sexy. So sexy. So I was going to so I was like, I'll just give them to my skinny girlfriend. She'll fit into them. And they were a little big on her. And she's like, oh, I have my mom alter them. I was like, have your mom alter them. I was like, honey, these are Moschino. These are Moschino. What did little Kim say? I used to wear Moschino. Now every bitch got it. It's my skin. No, and I'm wearing your favorite gloves, Adam. I'm just all
Yeah.
decked out. Look at this. Your favorite gloves, my leather gloves.
The gloves that make no sense. Yes.
These gloves make sense. It's cold, but it's not too cold.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I've just come from the gym, so I look like crap. So this is great. This is fantastic. Everybody go to YouTube. Make sure you check out the Theater of Others fashion experience today.
You have a beautiful hat on. I love that hat.
Well, yes, of course. Who doesn't love the Theater of Others hat?
And you've got all this blood in your cheeks. So handsome. Look, I love a sweaty man. Don't get crazy. Don't get it twisted,
Well,
honey. You look good.
well, apparently we're climbing a mountain in 63 days. So,
Yes,
gotta
we are
get our shit
climbing
together.
Mount Agung again. Yes, we are. Climb every mountain. I am like in such a good mood
You are. You really are.
because it's because I fit in the leather. Oh, and I'm also um I'm being taken out to lunch, and I'm also wearing my grandmother's jewelry. I'm wearing my grandmother's jewelry and this beautiful um fresh water pearl necklace that I received from my beautiful friend Jacqueline. And this amazing, you've seen this before, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
This is my, this is my, what is it? What's the stone called, Adam? The purple one?
Amethyst.
Yes, thank you. This is an amethyst prayer necklace that I received from this fierce bitch. She's so fierce.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Tell me
she's
about her.
fucking fierce. Should I talk about it?
Maybe.
Well, I was working last year at the barn, David's barn, the
Mm-hmm.
celebration barn.
Mm-hmm.
With this fierce actually I actually watched her murder a yoga mat.
Ooh.
It was incredible.
Sometimes they deserve it.
Sometimes they deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
She murdered it and then she's fucked it. It was amazing.
Okay.
And then she was
Cool.
so moved by the work, she gave me this beautiful necklace. She said that it was her uncle's. And
Oh.
her uncle was a really important person in her life, and he was a spiritual guy like me, and he had recently passed, and she had this, and she gave it to me as a gift to say, maybe you could pass on the strong spiritual energy with this
That's
in your life.
lovely.
Isn't that
Oh, that's so
beautiful? I wear
lovely.
it all the time. When I want the power, I wear it all the time. And talk about power, girl. Have you seen? Have you seen The Good Fight?
Oh, I like that show. It's no longer on, sadly, but yes, I loved that show.
It's good, right?
It is very good.
They have some powerful actors on there, don't they?
Every single week, it was always somebody new. I was always so excited to see who they had on.
Girl, look. I'm just feeling this. I'm in a mood. I'm in such a mood. I need some fierce actresses in my life,
Okay.
preferably African American and Chinese American.
All right.
Wouldn't that be good?
I'll see what I'll
Female,
see what I can do.
female.
Yeah.
I need some more melanin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to conjure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to conjure the sisterhood. what is that? What's that one meme where they
It's,
have like
it's just
the Spanish like conjuring witch thing that they do, like when they have like cats looking up at like a light and it's like the voiceover is like dos los dios I'm conjuring. I'm using my
sounds racist.
witchcraft. A racist? I'm
Sounds
not a
racist.
racist. I'm not a racist. I have Asian friends. I have Black friends. I'm married to an Asian, and my pedagogy has Asian pedagogical things in it.
Proof in the pudding, right
Asian,
there. Can't be racist.
Asian, not Oriental. I don't use that word, and neither should you. You are not in Cairo. You do not use that word anymore.
I have never used the word.
Okay, hold on. Mecca lecca hi, Mecca hiney ho.
That's right, Pee Wee Herman.
Mecca lecca hi, Mecca chani ho.
Oh,
Adam, am I segueing?
I hope to God you are.
I am. Oh Lord, I got a sister. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. Now, hold on. We are Siamese, if you please.
God.
We are Siamese, if you don't please.
No. Oh, fantastic! Because that racist gem there. That's fantastic. Yep, good. Yep.
I was conjuring my Chinese girl.
Hello everyone, it's Jack here, and I just wanted to quickly jump on because my job when editing the podcast is to make all transitions, all edits, all cuts feel really smooth and natural. However, on this episode, we had quite a few issues with recording. We had to restart multiple times and try and connect different conversations back up. Unfortunately, I had no feasible way of connecting the moment that Chalia and Jenelle joined our episode. So I'm just here to let you know that we had a few technical difficulties, but once we got up and running with the amazing conversation from Jenelle and Chalia, everything was all good. Hope you enjoy.
Like Mommy Dearest, like the moment where like she comes into the bathroom and she's like, "Do you call this clean? Do you call this clean, Christina? What?" And she's like beating her with the comet, and comet's like everywhere, and she's like, "Ah!" She's like, and she turns around, and she goes, "Clean up this mess." And then Christina goes, "How?" And she turns and looks at her, and she goes, "You figure it out." And then her eyes go. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what we just experienced from our producer. Our producer, Jack David Burmester, told us that we had to figure out where we should pick up from because we have been gaslit by Riverside. Yes, y'all, we are on Riverside, and they have gaslit us. They said that it was Jack's fault that our recording kept pausing. It paused Jenelle, then it paused Adam, and then it's probably going to pause me now because it's racist. Huh? Ladies and gentlemen and non-binary performing individuals, please welcome to the stage Jenelle Chu and Chalia Latour, the greatest actresses on the planet. Yay! Welcome, ladies.
Hi.
Thanks for having us.
Hi. Super fun.
So, I'm going to cut to the chase because we got a lot to talk about, yeah? Mm-hmm. I have a question.
Going on. There's a lot going on.
I got a question.
Yes.
Are we on strike?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's happening. It's not for sure yet. I think although by the time this comes out, the contract will expire because it's not expiring until the end of June 31st.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, Shalia, what have you heard? From what I can see and the rumors I've heard that like agencies are already like on vacation. They're already on an island somewhere. They're not even in the office anymore. Like the fact that Netflix has like straight up there was an article that came out on somewhere that was saying that Netflix has already said we have enough shows to last us beyond a strike.
Ugh.
Oh, what?
So we good. We got shows ready to go.
Yeah, I feel like
Ew.
Is that the best way to start this?
Yeah, well, look, this
I
is the
mean-
thing. This is the thing. So, Shalia, can you let our listeners know who's striking? Because we kind of just said, are we on strike? Who's we?
so. What we have the WGA that has been striking and are still in the thick of it, and then SAG-AFTRA just got an okay from the members to authorize a strike, dependent on what happens when we go into contract renegotiations. And then I also heard that the directing guild, the directing union, that I think they're in their negotiations right now. I don't know if they've completed it, but I've heard things of maybe the directors got what they were asking for. So I don't know where their union's going. But I think the idea is that
How convenient.
I know. But I think writers don't seem like they're stopping anytime soon. They've also talked about like what I watched a video with some of their like negotiators from their union talking about like where they plan to be going next now that they've hit about a month, and they're talking about like the longevity of like more than what they did back in whatever that was, like 2007. So I think the idea is that everyone will back on each other, because even if like directors contract goes through, like say even SAGs goes through, the whole thing is like whoever still hasn't gotten their contract, they can still disrupt whatever production that's happening on set. So you would still have to go and start filming knowing that that's going to be there for, because still like IATSE is honoring the picket lines and like not going past. So even if other people go forward with their contracts, if they still don't have theirs, it doesn't seem like folks are going to try and cross their picket line. I know people talk about stuff with what.
Shalia, can you let our listeners know what IATSE is?
So IATSE is for set and crafts people. Umbrella's like a ton of technical jobs within the industry, and I know that's probably too general, but they're one of, if not the strongest
that's clear.
union in the industry. They go hard. You don't mess with them. So if they said, it ain't happening.
You cannot mess with them. You can't even make reality TV without them, right? Like that's where we can really hit them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So how y'all feeling about it?
It's been tough. I think for a lot of actors who are still just trying to make a name for themselves and in the co-star range, guest star range, it's like the pandemic slowing everything down. It's not just a strike. It's a bit of that. It's a bit of I don't know if you guys have ever discussed this, but once movie stars were decided to be a part of TV, then that pushed series regulars who would typically take those roles into guest star roles, and then guest star roles would then be those actors would then be pushed down to co-star, which means if you were starting already in this golden age of television, there was a section of it where you couldn't really get your foot in the door if you were already too far down the ladder. Mm-hmm. And then now with the strike, we're about to be at Celebration Barn with a bunch of folks that just got out of Yale, and it's like, I obviously it's going to affect who signs them and how you get started in your career. Not to say that, we're all trying to stay hopeful, but even in the article I just looked up, it was on Vulture, and they even said that with the way things are looking, the industry will not go back to the abundance that it was before. Whatever happens in these negotiations, people are predicting that we will know, because we went this whole thing has been coming for so long, because we went from making 80 shows a year to 500 to 550 shows a year. So it, like, this huge influx of all these people who are able to create, and people of color and marginalized people being able to tell their stories, because it was like, ooh, wait, it's become much cheaper to make these pieces of art to show and to throw on to a streaming service, because they're not paying us as much as they would if it had to go through the network hoops. So it feels a little bleak.
Mm-hmm.
As far as if you're at a mid-tier boutique agency like me, and you're trying to like climb the ladder into this industry, it's just a little like, oh wow.
This is great. So you're talking about some great things that I think the listeners would really learn from, especially because, just to give you an idea of the kind of people that listen to the podcast, they don't have the kind of access that a New Yorker or a person in Los Angeles, Chicago, or DC would have, and understanding these things that are going on, and that these youngins that want to come into this industry, like. Can you talk about the mid-tier agency world, and then also Chalia, chime in as well whenever you want to. Also about talk about the balance, the shift of balance, where what it was before, what it is now, and what it's going to be for actors in this in our industry.
Ooh, I will say that one of the most positive things that came out of the pandemic was when we switched to self-taping, and the strike will the one of the things that we may be striking over is self-tape regulation, because it has gotten a little out of hand. But the great positive thing out of that is that, since I started teaching in pandemic, a lot of my students were going out for the same things I was going out for, because they didn't, in a way, it's like you can skip grad school, you can skip the showcases, you can skip all that, and like your tape will get seen
Yeah.
at the maybe even more than mine if you're like younger and whatever, you know what I mean? Like, people were being seen, and these gems of human beings from small towns in Louisiana get to a real shot at playing somebody that may be similar to them and to their experience. So that's a big positive thing that happened, but I don't know what's going to happen after these negotiations. But as far as being at a agency that's mid-tier, who are you with, Shalia? Would you consider yours to be
Buckwald?
mid-tier? Or I don't know.
Yeah.
It's so hard to say mid-tier, boutique. It's just like random words that
Yeah,
the
what is
industry
that?
labels onto. I don't even know what it means. It's not like there's like a category at CSA, which is like the casting association. It's just like shit that somebody made up one day.
Well, yeah, I think that's
Just
the thing.
like everything else in the world. It's just some shit somebody made up.
Yeah. Like, even the stuff with like, where we've been, where we could be going, like industry-wise, like surrounding the strikes, like it's even funny, like things with the like whatever top tier, mid-tier, boutique. It's like all those terms were dependent on how agencies were functioning, the how long their list of a roster is, like how many people are working on their rosters, and what tier of like money they're making and their connections. But even with the writer's strike, that wasn't about the contracts between productions, but with their uh, agencies that happened like a few years ago. You know, the old practice of being able to, if you're an agency, like try to pair your writer with your top actor, with your top director, so all the money stays in house. Like that's gotten broken up. So certain powers that were being had by longstanding agencies, like why like there's different agencies acquiring other ones like CAA and WME. Um, so my big thing with like that, whether it's agencies or these different like statuses and tiers and like access via self-tape, it's like we're just dealing with so many new technologies in the last 10, 20 years that I really think we're going into a whole new industry. And I don't necessarily know which things of for better or worse, but I think entertainment, storytelling, content creating, like all these different terms are being made and redefined in the moment we're in right now. Like I think even just like how we're going to qualify television, which there is no more. Very few people do television anymore. Like it's streaming. It's a particular type of like digital content. And not just like the product of it, but the way people are receiving story is changed because the culture is entirely changed based on the technologies that are around. So I'm maybe like I'm still optimistic of where that shift can happen, but I do think it's going to prioritize the valuing of different things. Like I don't know, past episode of y'all's you were talking about streaming and AI and like what that means to theater versus like on camera stuff. And I just thought to myself like, oh, how wild that if AI starts happening and there's more things that are where you can't tell where it originates, it makes live performance or live gatherings the only place where you know something truthfully happened, and you can only base that off of your personal experience. It's the only way you know it happened. And I think, and this is just like veering it towards theater, but whatever. Like I'm really excited about that because I think that's something.
Yeah, do it because I love this because that's one of the reasons why.
Yeah, like I feel like
that was one of the reasons why I said that in the AI because I knew Chalia, you were talking about that.
Yeah, I'm like sorry for I think there's a delay on my end with my computer, but I feel like that's something.
Yeah, there's a delay.
A lot of American theater specifically has been really like sitting on their laurels and like taking for granted that they are a live performance space trying to emulate other types of art forms. And now it's going to force theater to have to recognize that the thing that separates us, that like no matter what, it's a collaborative experience. No matter what, the thing that you have that's different is that you're live and you are an event. Not just is the show good, is the production good, is the writing good, but there's a physical event happening that we are all experiencing. None of our lives stop during that, hour, 2-hour performance. We all decided to live life for the exact same moment for the same reason at the same time. And we all have different roles in the space. But like I think that's going to be really interesting on like how that shifts theater, because the people who are now forerunners, all these like beautiful young companies that are stepping forward, or companies who were overlooked over the past years, are becoming the only place that young new audience want to go to, because it's the only place that's realizing that they're live and are trying to compete with something else, or aren't intimidated by the fact that there is new technology and media around them. Yeah, that's just my. I don't know.
No, Shalia, I think I think you made a beautiful segue. I love segues because we have the privilege of having a Tony Award nominated actor on the podcast. And I would love for you to segue into slave play and talk about what that experience was, because you know, that is not a play that we would see on Broadway. Like, what was it like to be on that journey? Because you were in the full journey of that show.
Mhm.
So what's really great for our listeners is to understand, what does it take to get a show on Broadway, and what was the experience?
Yeah. Well, especially in the context of what we're talking right now, I'm just give uh, so much respect and love to Jeremy O'Harris, to Robert O'Hara, to Level Forward, and our producing entities, because I remember when Jeremy was talking about the show years ago when he was still at school. It wasn't the idea that it was going to be a Broadway play. Like, it started off with this play where there's an artist who, loves downtown theater, loves experimental work, and was completely okay if the only time that this play is seen is, he would talk about, just some like random warehouse that we like find, or some studio space, and we'll do like one production in New York and maybe that'll be cool. And then, New York Theater Workshop happened. And, in terms of like the journey to Broadway, like that's a very, that's a business journey that I know both he and the rest of the producing team fought tooth and nail along the way to make it look a certain way. Like, we weren't a cast with like a big movie star in it, which he was really adamant about. I think there was something about that fight that he put up, and the support of the producers around him who, listened at the right moments to trust in the work that he was doing. Because I also think, one of the things I loved the most about doing that play in all the iterations is it is a show that does exactly what I was just talking about. Like, it has to be an event in the space. Like, it actually can't, it is dead in the water if it separates itself from the audience. Amazing set designer, Clint Ramos, with our mirrored set that was not in the script, but a convention that was created for it and just made the play even more of itself in the space. That it's funny looking back on it, because really, if people could see the actors backstage, like, a lot of us have known each other for years, and we're such, really in the simplest way, a group of actors who were just trying to do our best, and to have the opportunity to speak language that was nuanced and close to an experience that we could understand because of who we are, and not only ride on like our connection to identity, but a type of script that allows folks to actually flex in their skill. That I don't think I was as conscious every time the move happened. I don't think I really understood. I could understand why people were shocked about certain content of it, but the shock that, like, how many people really didn't think and know that currently right now there are writers who have incredible stories that want to be told, that are very unapologetic. There are actors all over, trained by big schools, not trained by big schools, who are ready to do guttural, fierce work and put themselves on the line and have the ability to hold a very intimate space with a large group of people. So I guess what was shocking about the move to, once we got to Broadway, was I think in a certain naive place in myself, I didn't realize how many theater goers, theater producers, bigwig whatevers, had really seemed to have forgotten that that's possible. Like, we got slack for things that weren't even the content in the play, but the way that we were doing it. The fact that, we had an invited dress that, Jeremy put on Twitter like 2 hours before we were going to do a dress, and we had a line around the block in Times Square for folks who showed up in on a random Tuesday to come see this play, and that was for some reason like not celebrated. It's like we were this like bad kid play on Broadway, messing up schedule and traditions, and then the way things are supposed to be elite and kept to yourself. And on the inside, all the because all the artists on the inside were just like it's no different than when you're doing a show in school. You hope someone's going to see you before someone's paying however much money to do this. And but the move, there would be so much more of this, except for, when folks show you who they are, believe them. Like, they're the reason why so many shows aren't there is because people
Amen.
who run Broadway don't want them there. It's not because people aren't trying. It's not the fact that there aren't some producers who really believe in that work. Broadway has a beautiful legacy that I'm glad to be a part of, especially, I've met so many people from various ages, backgrounds who've contributed so much to the artistry and like history, and the present of what we're in. But in the bare bones, Broadway is real estate. It's commercial capitalism, and it is only a type of theater. I don't believe it to be the end all elite pinnacle of something. I very much understand that it is a business, and it is a business feat that does go along with a story that is connected with people. But like, that's the win of it, and depending on who's up there, it signals out to the rest of this country and the world what kind of theater is valued, because our country is based on the money value of something. So anytime that turns, it's helpful. But it was a wild ride. It was I'll probably it's a trip to also see a play, how much changes.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Chalia, I have a question. If you could choose one major thing that you saw from the story of slave play, going from the idea to getting that ensemble together to getting to Broadway, like, what would you say is like the thing that you would recommend for other theater makers to have to be able to have the power to push a play like a slave play to the top? Because commercial capitalism, like, is it the collaboration? Is it the story? Is it getting money? Like, whatever, what is it, the one thing we should be focusing in on if we want to deign to dream to bring a show to Broadway like that? That is truly what you say it's supposed to be.
Broadway's money.
Like, brave and, all those things.
Just, like, Broadway's money. Like, that's the thing, that regardless if it's good product, bad product, whatever, you believe in it, you don't believe in it, if you can get people to fund it, that's the thing. Every day it's about, breaking a certain amount of money to keep the rent. That's what I mean. Like, it's real estate. So that just, so that doesn't get put aside. But I think what I learned with slave play and as it built, it was like, I was just thinking of writers in theater right now who go through, get stuck in the like workshop loop of their plays, and companies will keep them there because they want to validate their voice and be like, oh no, we love you. But we're actually not focused on the trajectory forward of who's being seen, what new audiences are being seen. So I what I thought was most amazing about it is that along the way there were producers who picked up, the weight to say, like, we're going to see this play, this writer through as far as we'll go. Jeremy really fought for us as a cast and for Robert to be his director. And so those were things that he'd be very vocal about. And then, moved on to have a producerial role in this as well. I don't know if it would have moved the way it did had Jeremy not taken as much producer responsibility as he did throughout that entire process. Like the amount of things behind the scenes. So what I would say for most artists, and I know it's where I'm going in my career, is that like I have to be a producer. I have to make my own work. I have to be a part of the business end of this, and it doesn't mean like, oh, like I'm acting and then like I would stop and produce maybe sometimes for certain works, but really knowing that like if I am the actor, the writer, the director, it's no longer, I don't know if safe's the right word, it's no longer smart to try to stick in that lane only and hope that your work is going to go as far as it can go. Like that idea of like some artist that's just going to be patroned by somebody else, we're not there anymore. Like the folks who are really shaking things up is like Jordan Cooper, taking that TV network and then being like, I am a producer, like I am making these moves like a producer while acting, while writing as well. And I know that's hard because I think some people think that lessens their artistry and that they have to put on multiple hats. And I do think that that's just true right now. You have to have such an insane amount of privilege, chance to be someone who is solely the artist that wants nothing to do with the business end of their career and expect worthwhile work to happen. Yeah, I think it's a bit like. I think that we're going to see that more. That's why these companies are being created, like fake friends.
Chalia, you are dropping the mic, girl.
Oh, but a Virgo gets excited.
Chalia is dropping the mic.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like Chalia, you like it's no wonder you are a Tony Award nominated actress. Like that generosity of what you just that diatribe of this generosity you just went on was invaluable for not only the people that are listening, just the world in general. Anyone who gets an opportunity to hear you speak, that was just it was so impactful. And what I love about it is it's a great segue. You are a segue mama, like into what Jenelle's doing with Encompass because, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like this. You actually get to work with Shalia because of what Jenelle is doing with Encompass. So, what is Encompass, Jenelle?
Encompass Collective.
Yes.
We, a few of us during the pandemic were like, what do we do now? What do we do? What happens now? And we're a bunch of, Yale alums, Yale School of Drama. We're very privileged to have gone to such an incredible program where we get to meet and collaborate with even more incredible people. And I think anybody who's gone to any of these MFA programs, because I know you guys have like a whole thing with that too, it's like the best thing you're going to get out of that is community. And I think we've had panels before at Encompass because a lot of people who come to us, we offer global majority actor training at accessible pricing. Basically, we just realized during the pandemic that learning acting shouldn't cost that much, for the same reason why we're striking. Like there must be a way for our voices to be heard and seen and be seen without while making a living and not having, to come from money. Like, we can't just be of the privileged class. Like, we have to be, there must be a sustainable way to do this. And one of those ways is one of the things we said early on was acting training should not be traumatic. And this is revolution is through
Hallelujah.
excellence. Like, what if revolution is just our own excellence in the
Yes.
forefront? And the only way to do that is, guess what we have? We have all the classes that we took at Yale, all of the amazing teachers that they sent to us, you know, that we got to take a little bit from. And so I felt the best thing that I could do and what we could do was to pass it on for not as much money as what it costs to go to any of these institutions. You know, there are far too many master's programs. There are far too many acting schools. And it costs far too much money to learn something that is where the goal is to be a human being. Like, like, are you kidding me? You want how many thousands of dollars a year for me to learn how to be a human being?
I mean, the gaslighting effect.
That feels weird.
Yeah.
There has to be a different way.
You know what? It does feel weird in the sense that it is weird. And so then you go into these schools feeling gaslit in this way of like, I'm supposed to find who I am in this predominantly white space, paying all of this money, not given material for me to do that, not given teachers for me to see that. And then there's a competitive nature where I've got to be a certain aesthetic to even be seen.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I will say
so we decided we did that. So now we offer what we can. Sorry, Shalia, what?
Oh no, I was just gonna talk about how amazing you are. That was all.
Wait, what were you saying?
To talk about how amazing you are. Because
none of that.
Like, I see the kind of work Jenelle does behind the scenes, and just to double down on that, like, revolutionary thing, because like what Jenelle and other folks at Encompass are doing that I love when I meet other students that I get to work with later, whether that's teaching them or getting to work alongside them, is like, Jenelle's an amazing teacher, and she's doing the thing that a lot of PWIs are trying to do, which, like, they're trying to translate to global maturity folks on how to get these teachings and tools as if they're foreign to them. Whereas, like, when it comes from a global maturity teacher, it's like, they just go ahead and look straight at your humanity. They're not blocked by other things. So even stuff that was said in a traumatizing way, Jenelle doesn't do that because she already knows the breadth of humanity. That does include how to look at this text, how to see it. Yep. So there are so many people who are going to these schools just to hype up Encompass that are coming through them that have all, like, had some time to meet with Jenelle and, like, other founders, that they are literally revolutionizing the next young generation. Like, whether it's through the major class, the major whatever MFA schools, or folks who have the encouragement to go make a career on their own with reality in sight, but also actual hope. So just to say, Jenelle's a boss, and
holla. She is the boss. She is the boss.
Oh, I hate all this. I was gonna say also, a lot of people come to us to try to get into grad school too. My ADD is all over the place right now. Never mind. I was trying to take it back to something else, and then I was like, what am I talking about?
No, but that's actually another great segue. Y'all are segueing all over the place, because talk about what y'all, Jenelle and Chalia and I are teaching together. Come on now. Tell them, Jenelle.
We're going to teach at Celebration Barn with David Bruin as artistic director. Yeah, we have 16 students coming. Chalia and I got to meet all of them.
Fantastic.
They're amazing. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, last summer was our first summer doing it, and we had 14 global majority students come and study with us, and watching them, have the experience they had and the things that they've done since, it's so inspiring, and like it it's incredible. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
So
and there's something special about that place.
yeah.
Shalia hasn't been, but Budi knows. And
Yeah.
it's not just us who have said that, because other people over the years who I've talked to about Celebration Barn, people who have went there 10, 15 years ago to study clown,
Yeah.
have all said, everybody I know who has been to that barn has been like, there's something about that space.
Yeah. So tell them exactly what it is. It's through Encompass Collective. Tell them exactly what this is. So because we're over full this year, but then they can kind of put a pin in it so they can actually try to join us next year.
Yeah, so last year, this year, I hope to do it for many, many years to come and have different
Yes.
teachers come up. Hopefully, every
Yes.
year it's different teachers too. And we're just doing an intensive grad school type of training, and it's all global majority and all global majority teachers. And
Yep.
it's respite from the
Yeah.
PWIs. You
Yeah.
can come and breathe with us in the woods.
Yeah, because we don't have to no one has to wear the masks. No one has to wear the masks going into the training space. I don't have to wear the mask as a master teacher walking into a space of predominantly white students. Students don't have to wear a mask going into the training space, having uh, global majority teachers in the space holding space. So there's that extra layer of care that we have to do naturally to survive in these spaces that is not necessary.
Yeah, and I
So
love
the
that.
depth of our transformation and embodiment is really strong. Shalia.
Yeah, I was going to say that with this being my first summer to come and experience Celebration Barn, like one of the things I love that Jenelle set up is this really nuanced and like intimate space right away. Like the fact that we got to meet some of the students, and the care for them to, it's a space where you get to identify yourself. You get to be the first one to say what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses before someone tries to tell you about yourself. Like, and then just knowing on the other side of, we're planning along with Taylor Barfield, who's the dramaturg on site there, to make sure that these plays are ones where they can,
Taylor. They know Taylor. Taylor's been on the podcast.
Oh, he's so smart. And now he's a doctor. But like it's really like this. Like it's because I feel like there's probably a lot of students and actors right now who are like, I've been in diversity spaces and the like DEI of it all. But this is one where it's like, no, people are so excited for you to be there and to look at you very specifically. And I think that's beyond the like whether people get dismissed if they're not white in these PWIs. Sometimes they also don't get pushed because everyone's so afraid to look at them specifically, and as if they're going to say something wrong to them.
Come on, Shalia.
And what I love is that y'all have some returning students, and the way that they are so excited and standing in their agency, right? And also knowing that agency on someone who's like black or brown doesn't have to be like, I'm tough and in your face. Like, it's just they can speak their question. They're excited to be challenged, and they feel safe to be challenged with folks from Encompass and at Celebration Barn. So it's a and it is like grad school because it's all day. You do voice, you do movement, you get different pedagogies depending on who you're working with, and I don't know. I'm just so, and I've told you can cut as many of these as time, but it's like I'm just so proud of you, Jenelle, and you are literally and I told y'all this when we were in 2020 mid-pandemic, and I was like on my mama's couch, like y'all are just
yes, that's true,
disrupting something so incredible that is
Yeah.
going to ripple for a very long time, and y'all didn't have to do that. Like they aren't getting paid a
Yeah.
ton. They've taken their time, and also the thing that no one tells you you have to do, but like when you were given a privilege and knowledge that's more than your your surrounding community, to say that I will take on that extra thing and make sure that that's going to be given out. Like the four of y'all have just, like, I wouldn't even have started teaching if it wasn't for Jenelle showing me like that kind of bravery to start something new in the middle of a pandemic. So you just, yeah.
That
And
is
Budi, you coming
definitely
to do
another
the same
thing
with
that we
us,
really
and
find
like,
is so important,
oh,
is that, like, yes,
yes,
Budi coming to mentor us, because
yes.
it's also, we need to create spaces where we feel safe teaching and
Mhm.
trying out these new muscles, and like, okay, yeah, I know how to work professionally as an actor now, and and it also has so much to do with the training and the kind of teachers that we had at Yale too. Joan McIntosh,
Yeah.
we take this class, actor generated work, in our third year, and it's because she knows, she's a working actress, she was a working director, she knows how hard it is to be an actor when there's a strike. What do you do when there's a pandemic? What can you do? How do you follow your bliss and your joy to find new skills? And obviously, we need more global majority acting teachers, because it matters, as we
Yes.
can feel in our classes, and from our students feedback. So it's another way of being like, we've helped a couple people get into the teacher development program, which the Alliance of Acting Teachers does. So we can get more trained.
Yeah.
And then Budi had come up through Julian Elijah Martinez, saying he might come and like mentor us and like teach us how to teach. And it's like, yes, amazing. That's exactly what we need. We need mentorship. We need people. That's why in the end I was like, Shalia, let's just pick these scenes and let Budi be like, that was a mistake. You should not have done that. You should.
No, I'm
That was
happy.
not it.
But that's the thing, and as y'all know, that's what my next 50 years is all about, is giving back. My whole, I'm plugging my chapter and the stages of reckoning. Whose body is this is all about it. The chapter that I wrote is really about the next generation. And it's funny, Shalia, you were at the first time in my life where I was at a predominantly all black student population, teaching an all black student population. The folks, remember, y'all brought me out.
That. No, I remember
That
that,
was
but I
your
didn't
first
know
time?
That was the first time in my life. That was the first time in my life that I had been in an all black space with actors at the level that y'all were at. And we were in the same room with the room where Lloyd Richards and August Wilson made their plays, and someone came in. Don't you remember? I was like, I was like, I think I need to come back. Remember, I had a vision.
Yes. Well, and I've been trying to get back
and
to
I think
you
that's
for a
why
long
I'm so
time.
warm and bubbly right now. I'm like, oh, so this is familiar, baby. You're back. It's on. It is on. It is on, y'all. And Adam, I think we're in provocation zone, because we are really like. Was there a white man on the podcast today? Look at his face. Look at his face. Yes, we had. It's us and Adam.
It's so hard to do this with 4 people, right? It's too much.
It's good though. I like it because y'all took over, and I really love giving y'all the space to just like take over. It was wonderful. I love being able to provide that kind of space. And for y'all men listening out there, if y'all shut the hell up, you might learn something from the lady next door. Okay? So I think it's time for us to go into provocation so we can learn something. How's that sound, y'all?
Did we talk enough about the strike?
Yes. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's where we're at. But the I think the reason why we segued is because the value of what the strike is about is that we get these artists like y'all, like us, in those rooms making work that is changing lives. and you gotta pay us for that shit.
And so many people who leaders of the union have said that this is for the future generations. Like
Yeah.
the way that we're going right now is not sustainable. 97% of the people who voted for through SAG have voted for the strike authorization. So there's a huge amount of solidarity completely behind this, and it's clear from all the research I have done, and I'm sure Shalia too, that this needs to happen, and it will be happening. And I do think we need to fight this fight now, and it's pretty serious. So I don't know how long it'll last, and in the meantime, we're here. I think
Fair's fair.
you should teach classes in the city. I think I might do like cheap drop-in classes.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but also be careful.
You heard it here
'cause
first, y'all.
Be careful of people who are just trying to take your money, though, and just, you know,
Yeah.
tell stories the entire time while they're teaching. Like, no offense to anybody, but just, you know.
Yeah, it's true. It's true, though. It's true. And that's why you need to go to the Encompass Collective, because they're a really good filter. They'll take care of you. They'll help guide you.
But also I'll recommend other people. I'm constantly sending
exactly.
people to all over the place because there's tons of us out here who are trying to change.
By the way, Shalia, Janelle, I have an actor here that's going to LA. Who should she do some training with in LA?
Oh, Devin Kawaoka from you can currently see him on Shrinking.
Okay.
Like, I know he's filming right now. He was in the slave play cast at the Broadway Remount and here in LA. Fantastic Japanese American teacher, came out of NYU, and just a delightful soul. I've learned a lot from him. We've talked a lot. It's just like colleagues, but that would be my first person, especially for someone who's
Great.
He also does like online as well. So if it's not someone who can always be in person
perfect.
in LA, but yeah, you can find him on Instagram.
Great. Oh, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Janelle, did you have a suggestion? You were
isn't the actor Shalia from your cast also a teacher? Didn't
Oh
I
yeah,
see in
also
his
Galen
bio
Williams,
that
who I believe is in
can't remember his
Atlanta
name right
now, and but also I think does online as well and goes between Atlanta and LA. Great. Worked at the taught at Debbie Allen Studios.
That's you, Adam. You can go see Devin.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go on provocations, y'all, because we're already in that realm. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and non-binary conforming individuals, you are listening to the stereo sounds of JDB, Jack David Burmester. So we're back to provocations. Adam, you wanna give the our guests a debrief on exactly what a provocation is?
We like to leave our guests, our listeners, with something to do. I mean, they should be on fire after listening to the two of you today, and they should want to do something or talk about something or read something or see something or write in and talk to you. So things that you want to leave them with, things that you want to leave, kind of plant little seeds in their brain, or things that they should think about. What do you have for them, for the people all over the world now listening to you?
I'd
all
say
over the world.
All over the world.
I will say something that Peter J. Fernandez told me. He's an incredible actor. He's co-chair of Columbia's MFA program. And I feel, a mentor of mine. And he taught me to just, is this what you want? To pay attention. Keep a notebook with you. Write down things you hear that people say on the street. Observe a person. Figure out where they came from, where they're going to, how they feel about that. Like, that's some of the best acting that you'll learn, I think. It's just by watching somebody in a state of destination. Like, where are they going? If you look hard enough, I really think you'll be able to see their hopes and dreams too, if you just look hard enough.
Yeah, Janelle's doing that psychic shit. She's, she's that deep. She go dig.
I think we just wear it all over ourselves more than we think.
Yeah, agreed. 100%. That's really good.
That's beautiful.
Chalia?
Since we talked about this, right? Whether it's Instagram, TikTok, follow the WGA East and West. Also, stay tuned for SAG-AFTRA. Even if you aren't someone if you aren't in these unions, they really need your support. We're going to need your support. And for the kind of storytelling, entertainment, media that you want, this connectedness, there's going to be a time where it starts to hit pocketbooks of like, which streaming service are you ready to let go of when that call happens? Because that's going to be the next big call for people who aren't, especially people who aren't members of these unions. When you let them know that you care about the humans who make them, you are excited that you were reflected by these particular people. We aren't AI. We actually are a human that's across from you, walking around by you, who isn't just interacting in the digital space. We shift how people treat you in real life, the way you can treat other people in life, your awareness and your connection to the world around you. So, yeah, which apps can you let go of, and for how long? Because there will be, a group sacrifice in that kind of way. So, yeah, are you ready to do that for people? Is your entertainment?
I am
bigger than someone's well-being.
Whoa. Shalia.
And if they try to pay you, no matter what it is, to be like, let me take a photo of you and let me record your voice and then I'll use it forever. Say no. Say no. Walk away. Don't believe them. Oh, it'll be, $700. Isn't that great? No, you say no.
No. Those AI filters already got me with turning me into a cartoon.
Do it.
And I was like, dang, they got me too. No, I didn't sign no contract, but those ones where they're like,
we already got you? You have a cartoon?
An alien? I know. It was dark tonight. I was in my room by myself. So all this to say, when you can't and you're worried about drama, go play The Sims. Sims 4, you want to create drama, you want to be inside of it and make it happen, play The Sims. Play The Sims. That's my provocation for everyone.
Yes.
We all get on The Sims
when
we get rid of all of our apps. And we all create our own dramas for a bit, and then we start again.
I'm willing to do it. And I'm on everything. I'm on everything, and I'm willing to sign off. I did it with Facebook when that orange guy became president and never went back. So, Netflix, you want me to never come back?
Buy you a DVD.
You better get it together. Straight up. Oh my God, yes. I'm going DVD. I am going DVD.
We just got rid of all of them. They're already at all the garage sales across America. Like, it's...
You can still get them in China.
I'm sure you can.
I love it. Of course.
And Indonesia. Adam, how will we know that these people are doing what we told them to do?
They're going to go to speakpipe.com/theater of others. Again, speakpipe.com/theater of others, theater with an R-E, theater of others, all one word. You can leave a 90-second voice message there. Responding back to Janelle, Chalia, what do you feel? What did you feel about what they're laying down for us today? Those of you who are going into the industry, what are you feeling? What are your worries, your concerns, your hopes, your dreams? Talk to them. Send something out to them. You can also leave a email, podcast at Theater of Others. We are also on Instagram, Facebook, and our website.
Instagram, yeah.
You can find many, many ways to get in touch with us. And these conversations that we're having, we're coming at them really, really hard recently. We're really talking about this one right after the other in this last month and a half.
It's important. It's real.
And we're going to continue to have some great conversations. But the only way that you're going to know about these conversations is if you do what, Budi?
You need to subscribe.
Mm-hmm.
Subscribe. Do not cancel us. Subscribe.
That's right. Cancel your Disney Pluses and your Netflixes and your Paramounts and all that, but not us.
Yes, not us. We come to your inbox week we do this.
That's right.
And then if you like us, you could do like what my Uber driver does. You can give us 5 stars. You give me 5 stars. I give you 5 stars. 5 stars. It's a win-win. And if you really love us, because I know you love Chalia and Jenelle, you need to leave a comment like, those queens were incredible. So much, I wish I could give 10 stars, but you only have 5. Yes? It changes our algorithm and algorithm. It changes our Is that what they say? Is that how they say it in Georgia? They changes our algorithm.
No.
Our algorithm. So then we can go from 5% to 100%.
No, that's also not how it works.
Oh, so we go from 5% to number 1.
There you go. There we go.
To number 1.
There we go.
Adam, I love you so much.
I love you too.
Chalia, I love you so much.
Love y'all.
We'll see you this weekend.
I love you, Jenelle. You're the
Love
best.
you.
I love you both so much.
See you.
So I'm going to see you next week.
Yes,
I'm going to see you next week.
On Saturday.
Have a good lunch date.
And for y'all, we'll be in your inbox next week. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us this week on the Theater of Others podcast. Make sure to visit our website, theaterofothers.org, where you can subscribe to the show in iTunes, Stitcher, or via RSS, so you'll never miss a show. While you're at it, if you found value in this show, we'd appreciate a rating on iTunes. Or if you'd simply tell a friend about the show, that would help us out too. A special thank you to Purple Planet for the music you've heard. The Theater of Others creates a shared community of artists and audiences for the purposes of exploring the most profound issues of our lives and times. We believe the play watches the audience. The audience is necessary, and they are witness to what happens. And you get to be witness to us making that happen. The purpose of this podcast is to open up our process and let you in. We're peeling back the curtain, so to speak, and encouraging you to follow along, to ponder, prod, and question. To join us and criticize us if need be. Being a witness is no passive task and requires much from you. Are you up for the journey? Be sure to tune in next week for our next journey.